All right, everybody, welcome back to BMRL Network. My name is Chris Mayo, up in the booth. We're here live with BRN's Cup Series at Indianapolis Oval. Practice is just now ended as we get ready for qualifying here into a 60-lap race. All right, Paul Lawson looks like he is on pit exit here. Gonna head off. You guys got 2 laps to complete their qualifying run as Paul Lawson enters turn 2 on the apron out of 2. And he's gonna pull onto the track. All right, into turn number 3, he's gonna ride that mid to high line. Out of 3 into turn 4 as he's gonna enter the front stretch to take his green flag lap here. Many others out on the track as well, but we're gonna stick with Paul Lawson here as he heads across the line. Green flag is out for him. Into turn 1, he's not gonna hug that white line super tight. He's gonna go out about mid to the high line into 2. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Let's see if he rides that mid to high line on 3 again. Let's see if he's going to change it up going into his final lap here. That low line on 1, 2, 3, and 4 gets you the best speed here at Indianapolis. Let's see. Zach DeWisher going to have a 53.46. Paul Lawson a 55.97. Yeah, that's what he's going to get for riding that mid to high line here. Going to ride it again. As we watch Jesse Gordon putting on a fast lap so far, and see how he just hugs that white line as he comes out of 2. A little bit of a correction there as he tries to keep it off of the wall. He does keep it off the wall, but going to have to kind of yank that wheel, which is going to slow him down a little bit, but not too much. He's going to dive to that white line. Let's see on turn 4 if he almost touches the grass. Here you go, he's gonna go down, gonna hit that little bit of rumble strip. Yes, he almost touches the grass, which is right where you need to be on this track. This is gonna be a beautiful lap here. Last lap of 53.14, which was 0.2 faster than everyone else. And this lap of 53.09, he's blowing everybody out of the water. Deutscher with the 53.34, Mike Slaughter 53.53. Robert Amaral into turn 4. Down the front stretch for his final lap here. Last lap of 56.83 this time. A 56.35. A little bit faster, but not the speed that he needed. Alright, looks like a lot of these guys have gone Alright, qualifying is over. Jesse Gordon gonna win the pole here. Right, and let's go ahead and go through the grid here. Front row, Jesse Gordon getting that pole with Zach Deutscher on his outside. Row 2, Matthew Hunsaker and Mike Slaughter. Row 3, Justin Steves and Chris Campbell. Row 4, Robbie Bison, Xavier Delgado. Row 5, Dale Rapp and Joe Stipe. Looking back to row 6, we got James Hudson and Matt Bryant. A little bit further back behind them, row number 7, Tyler Myers and Tyler Martin. That row's filled with Tyler. Row 8, Pete Woodrum and Philip Bridgman. Row 9, Anthony Lane and Paul Lawson. Row 10, Robert Amaral and Kevin Roy. Row 11, we got Bill Hales and Brian Huntley Jr. And row 12, Troy Daggett and Aaron Bradford. Alright, these drivers ready to get racing here as the pace car is going to roll off. Alright, into turn number 3, they come. 24 cars on the field, 60 laps. We're ready to go green flag racing as they exit turn 3. Alright, pace car going to make that left-hand turn onto the pit entrance. Zach Deutscher, Jesse Gordon, going to bring him to the green flag here.
Green flag, green flag.
And green flag is out, here we go. Great day for Indianapolis racing. This track is so iconic to myself. I grew up going here every year of my childhood. Ooh, there's some trouble back in the back. I believe that was Robert Amaral going down onto the apron, coming back up. It hasn't touched anything, I don't believe. That was a close one. Like I was saying, I grew up going here every summer. Back when it was like a Jeff Gordon domination. Oh, trouble! Tyler Martin involved in the 20. I believe the 54 involved. That is Matt Bryant. Robert Amaral also involved. I think Troy Daggett got a little bit of it. The left side and the front look okay, but it's probably back in the rear. There was someone else, Tyler Martin, Matt Bryant, Troy Daggett, Robert, Aaron Bradford also involved. You can see there the number 5 car. Heavy left front damage. I believe Paul Lawson also may have got a little bit of this. Let's go back. We'll see what happens here. Okay, so Paul Lawson escapes. Alright, so we're going to go Tyler Martin here. What unfolds here for this to happen? Aaron Bradford comes in. Matt Bryant. Ooh, he almost missed it, but clips the 12. Oh, I didn't know that the 12 was involved. Brian, but it looks like Brian does get to escape this. Alright, so Brian barely getting clipped there by the 5. Going to be able to escape it, but caution out on lap 2. These guys seem to be getting very big runs going into the backstretch. Which is very, very known as turn 2 is pretty fast turn if you can hit it just right out of 1. Alright, these guys gonna line up 2 by 2 this next time by. Alrighty. You're getting ready to hit the green flag. Down into turn 4, here we go. Pace car gonna make that left-hand turn onto pit road like we always like to say here. Alright, Jesse Gordon, Zach Deutscher on the front row. Mike Slaughter right there on the bumper of Jesse.
Green flag, green flag.
And green flag is out. Oh, and the 2's really gonna beat Jesse on that restart. Jesse Gordon fighting for that second place position. Matthew Hunsaker right there on his outside as they go into turn number 3. Matthew not in the most vulnerable spot there on the outside of 3. See how much momentum he carries out of turn 4. Is he gonna stay off the wall? And he does stay off the wall. Okay. Great driving by the 3. You know, let's go hop on board. Gotta get a feeling how much turns 1 and 3 are, they're very hard. One thing you do not want to do, as many of you may know, with the Indy cars, but this next gen does carry a lot of draft into 1 and 3, and you do not want to stay in that draft as it kind of just rips the steering out of your hands and out of your control. See how he's going to have to let off a lot going into those corners, but then we're going to go hop on with Zach here on turn 1. And Zach really not going to have to let off of those corners, and see how right there the rear end kind of getting away from Matthew there. But Matthew going to hold on to that run going into number 1 here. Zach going to let off on the entrance, but then he's going to be able to full throttle his way through the exit of 1 and into the 2. He should be able to. Oh, Matthew going to get to his left rear here. Not going to have anything for him, but the 10 right on the rear end of Matthew. Matthew going to try to lose that draft, but the 10 going to have, wow, an enormous just speed on the backstretch. Because you're going to continue to snake down the front stretch. The 27 of Robbie Bice says, you know what, you can go ahead and do that. I don't really care. I don't need it. Oh, I think the 14 just tagged the wall there. Mike Slaughter, a little bit of a tag in between 1 and 2. If you don't exit 1 the greatest, that 2, that wall right there in between 1 and 2 can really bite you. Look at this, the 3 going inside for the lead. And we've got a new leader. Got ourselves a new leader out here, guys. Alright, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that thumbs up. Matthew Hunsaker at the point. Zach Deutscher under fire from Jesse Gordon. Jesse's right there on his back bumper. Well, Jesse gets him a little loose there. Taking that air right off of that rear. Let's see, does Jesse go for the pass into one? I don't think he's got the gap closed enough there. Hey, Will.
Better late than never.
And there goes the 14 side by side with the Jesse.
It looks like Mike got a bit aerotight coming through turn 2 on the exit, so had to back out of that pass attempt.
Not much passing going on the track right now. And that's one thing I do like about Indianapolis, like and hate, as this track is just so big and so fast that there's not really any side-by-side racing, as you know, the track is a little bit too skinny to race 2x2, especially 3 wide. They're going to see a lot of single file action here tonight. And I believe that's one of the critiques that the drivers had this season in NASCAR. Robbie Bice going underneath Mike Slaughter there for that 5th place position.
Indianapolis has historically, though, Chris, always been a challenging track to pass at. So you got to be careful and kind of have limited options when making passes. You have to have the straightaway speed and also the corner exit speed to have that straightaway speed down these long, grueling straightaways.
Then you gotta make sure you hit your mark in turns 1 and 3 to set up turns 2 and 4.
A lot of people can compare, Pocono to Indianapolis. Some people that are good at Pocono can be good at both, and then some are just better at Indianapolis than Pocono. Relatively the same track, just one is a triangle, one's a rectangle. One has 3 different corners. Pretty much all 4 corners here are slightly different. They are slightly angled, ever so slightly different than one another. So you got to be very careful going into these corners and through them. Exit, the little short chute that connects 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
All right, Brian Huntley up 14's position since qualifying. He sits in 8th place right now. Brian on that opening, that second lap wreck, got a little bit of left rear damage, but not much. I think it was more just a tap than anything that he received. But Aaron Bradford, Tyler Martin already out of this race. Robert Amaral still in this thing, but barely holding on.
Pretty decent gap, that the field is being covered by in total. And there's a decent battle going on for second place between Deutscher and Gordon. Gordon taking that position away from Deutscher.
Woo! Zach getting a little bit into that wall there. That's that thing about turns 4 is you carry too much momentum from 3. That turn 4 wall on the exit can really kind of bite. Our biggest loser so far tonight, Matt Bryant down 7 positions in the 19th. He was involved in that lap 2 wreck. Seems to have it repaired, and he's still on the lead lap. I think he just suffered left rear quarter panel damage. And a little bit of front right there as well. Ooh, off of the wall there. That's probably where it came from.
Our fastest lap that has been turned is by our race leader, currently in the 3-car, Matthew Hunsaker, with a 53.436. At least a tenth quicker than everyone else that is next challenging. Second place man, Jesse Gordon, pretty much a tenth off of him with a 53.55. He's right there in the wake, the draft of the race leader. A little bit further back in the pack, there's a scramble or a scrabble going on for these positions back here, the 24 and 53 machines. Tyler Myers and Bill Hells. And right behind, that is Justin Steves catching up to the back of them, just getting by. Christopher Campbell, CC there in the 68. And then he's got Troy Daggett closing in on him. So, comers and goers, winners and losers here at the moment. We're just 18 laps into this race. And one would assume that pit stops, you said there was a caution at lap 2, right? So,
yeah, and a lot of people came down on lap 3.
maybe
but
that
our
could
top
get extended.
5 did not.
Either way, still, then green flag cycle pit stop should be happening in the next few laps, at least, if I can remember fuel mileage right from the last time we were here. So, or even go as far as Pocono. Pocono fuel mileage is pretty much the same as here. So, anywhere really crisp from 20, maybe even go as far as 28 laps on fuel mileage. So, just have to wait and see. And like you said, with the caution early on, that's going to help extend that at least a lap, maybe 2 at the most. And then with whatever fuel saving they could be doing, that's going to extend that at least another lap too. So,
Ryan Huntley making his way up through the crowd here in the 6th place position. Up 16 spots now. Robbie Bice trying to chase down our 3rd place driver in the number 2 car. That's Zach Deutscher.
and Gordon is at the back bumper, pretty much of the 3-car Hunsaker. He keeps reeling that fish in ever so slightly. Slightly must be the go-to word tonight for my brain, but that's okay. So 20 laps into this race. Only one caution that I'm aware of. Has there only been one caution, Chris?
Yes.
So can we get a good replay of it real quick? Since I joined the party late, and get a feel for what happened, transpired, kind of like a mid-race highlight reel, kind of.
Go.
Oh man, they got some hang time. Looked like just some miscommunication going down the back straightaway there, and it was on like Donkey Kong from there, pretty much. And oh no, came back up, scattered, and unfortunate. So, yep.
Pretty hard hit for Tyler Martin.
Well, thanks a lot, Chris, for letting you get caught up with all the action. Like you said, one caution for 23 laps here, and Indy can really get kind of, I don't want to say strung out, but once everybody, that's not Cameron, that's Justin Steves.
Not sure, I think the emergency having to hurry up, yep. Probably having some sort of emergency having to get out real quick.
Good possibility. I was going to assume maybe he could have just got loose coming up out of turn number 4 and went for a power slide. But like you say, that could be the case as well, having to never know what that 4-letter word life could bring up to you in any time whatsoever.
Jesse Gordon.
Indeed, thank you, Chris. Jesse Gordon coming into the pits, bringing that second place car down. This long pit road here at Indianapolis pretty much covers the entire front straightaway.
I wonder if this is going to bring down the 3 and the 2, as they are now going to see the Jesse making a pit stop. Let's see here, the 3, Matthew Hunsaker into turn 4. Does he slow down for pit road? And he does not. Jesse might be able to stay in the lead lap here.
Yeah, depending on the pit, depending on the delta you have to the race leader out front, and he being right up on the race leader, him pitting, he should always, in string theory, come back out just like at Pocono or there's a couple of other tracks. If you can withstand that delta gap, to the race leader, about 5 seconds, give or take, Chris, you can more than likely come in, make a pit stop, and get out in front of the race leader. So, great strategy by the 10 car there of Jesse Gordon. Either way, these drivers still have to make one more pit stop. I would have no doubt about it. 60 laps here. Even the ones that pitted on lap 2, or lap 3, you said. I just don't see them. Unless they could get to about lap 32, Chris, I don't see them. But lap 28, 20, they would have to be doing a lot of saving, Chris.
Yep, and now Tyler Myers and Kevin Roy on pit road.
It's that point of the day where I've got to where I just can't stop yawning. I thought that was earlier today, but nope. It was just a passerby moment of just nonstop yawning, but now back to that again.
Comes Robbie Bice. So our two
Robbie
leaders
Bice.
still out though on the track.
Yeah, it just makes you think, like, how much longer are they going to go to lap 28, 29? Maybe, like I said, can they go to lap 32? I don't think they can, but they're definitely trying. These two Ford automobile drivers trying to get every ounce of that digital Sunoco racing fuel out of their automobile that they can. So there is a song called Automobile by John Prine. Look it up. It's a good one. It's a good little fast beat record track. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Zane Smith lost some talent. That's all I got to say about that. So back here, there's a tussle still going on. Troy Daggett gets by the Campbell machine finally. Not sure if that was through pit stops or just on track. I was too busy looking up at the actual race broadcast. Shame on me, I know, right? But either way, change of position has been made. Troy Daggett gets ahead of Campbell. Xavion currently in the 5th position in that Ford machine.
And here they come.
Looks like Zach
There's our
even gained
leaders.
a little bit of ground on the 3 car, closing in on the pits. So, like I said, the next question in line would be these drivers making it to lap 29. Can they go 31 laps on that full tank? And also, can the leaders get out ahead of Jesse Gordon here coming through turn number 4? I almost said turn number 10. But he's bringing his number 10 machine out down the front straightaway. I think he might have the undercut. Yep. So he got the undercut, nailed it right on its head, and Hunsaker and Deutsch are going to be coming out with fresher tires, but they're going to be about 5 seconds, if not further back.
Yeah, about four and a half, a little over 4.5 seconds for Mike. Matthew about 7.5 seconds behind.
Wow.
Anthony Lang right in behind Jesse. But Anthony hitting lap 3.
Just getting on and off pit road mistake free, and getting that undercut too. Just that fresher tire for the first couple of laps, crucially beneficial to whatever amount of time you might be able to gain back on the people you were battling in front of you, or maybe you were trying to pull away, so you can come in, bolt on that fresh set of tire, get back out there. It was at least, what was it, 3-4 laps before his competition that he was racing around actually came in and pitted. So I don't know how well that's going to benefit or actually hurt in the long run. We just got to sit here and wait and see. Halfway down with this race, half of it is done and dusted, the other half waiting to be complete here in this BNR Cup Series race here at Indianapolis. The famous Yard of Bricks, Chris. Still waiting on the other cars to cycle out of the pits, or the screen flag cycle to fully cycle out. Like Chris talked about, there was a caution. Some drivers came in during that cycle, during that caution cycle, and pitted. and that's going to extend them a little bit further to their cycle when they actually need to stop. Did you see the new Twister movie?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's streaming on Peacock November 15th. Look at that. How convenient.
Yeah. Yep.
I just
Yeah,
wait
we
a few days and bam, it's on
bought it
Peacock.
on Vudu as soon as it hit digital.
Well, good for you.
And then we watched the new Venom today on YouTube.
Somebody uploaded it up on YouTube already?
Yeah, we watched the new Deadpool and now the new Venom on YouTube.
You know, that's how I watched the new Deadpool movie. Somebody uploaded Deadpool on
Yeah.
YouTube, and the new Transformers animated movie, Transformers 1, somebody did the same thing with that, and I watched it on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
And
we
then my
saved that
girlfriend
one.
bought it digitally.
We saved that Transformers 1 for later here tonight.
Oh, great movie, good movie. Don't want to spoil nothing for you, but it's a good movie, great movie, good movie. If you love Transformers like I do, I like if you're a Transformers fanatic like I am. It's a great movie, good movie, good movie. Can't, oh goodness gracious, it's fantastic. Anyway, so they were talking about maybe not doing a sequel because of the reaction that they got in actual theaters wasn't all that great, right? But that's almost any movie nowadays, right? Like almost any movie can get almost nobody go see it, right? Like it almost depends really what it is, and I don't understand why the movie craze has kind of died down. I don't know why these big studios don't just release their movies on their streaming sites that people actually pay their hard-earned money for instead of wasting their actual time to go to a movie theater. I used to love whenever I was younger. Man, I loved going to the movie theaters. I thought it was an enjoyment getting to watch a new movie on that big screen. But anyway, yes,
Yeah.
we can ramble on and lose our train of thought here, but yeah, I think the Transformer movie. If you like Transformers like I do, or just like it at least a little bit, you will like it. Like if you have seen the 1986 original animated movie, there's a little bit of callback to that. There's callback to the G1 cartoon show. There's callback to everything in that movie. Like it. There's a bit of fan service for every type of Transformer fan in that movie.
Yeah, I used to read the comics throughout my childhood.
Nice. I just a few months back, I actually collected some. Like I went to a comic book store and I found some original Transformer comics. So
Man,
56 laps to go in this championship deciding race at Phoenix. So that's good for them. And 26 laps to go here. That Jesse Gordon is our race leader, right? Or wrong? I have this handy dandy cheat sheet. Yes, indeed. Jesse Gordon, Mike Slaughter, Matthew Hunsaker, Zach Deutscher, and Robbie Dice is the top five. Brian Huntley Jr. up 16 positions in P6, and Bill Hells up 14 positions in P7.
now if I'm Jesse Gordon, I would think about pitting probably here between now and the next, 5 to 10 laps. No more than 10 laps from now, I think I'm going to be pitting if I was him. Keep that lead going, because now we do know that the 3 and the 2 do have to pit, as they only made it to lap 28.
Yeah, and I don't see no way how anybody's going to go 32 plus laps on a full tank. Jesse would need to go, what is it, 36 laps? So I just don't see that happening, Chris.
Nope. Yep, I would think about pitting here in the next 5 laps or so if I was Jesse. And Jesse still continuing to put down time. He is now 7.5 seconds in front of Zach and almost 7 seconds in front of Matthew. About 6 seconds in front of Mike Slaughter, though.
Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter holding good station there in P2. Did you ever get the G.I. Joe comics? Were you into
no.
G.I. Joe? Oh, no. It's okay. Yo, Joe! I can do Commander Cobra and Starscream because they were done by the same voice actor, like the G1 and 1980s G.I. Joe. Chris Leda, anyway, doesn't matter. Lots of bunch of tidbit useless information that roams around in my brain, Chris. And I'm glad I missed 3/4 of this race. This championship Phoenix finale. Woohoo! I'm so glad I didn't. I went and did stuff today. That's why I was late. I was out, just out of the house. Got out of the house. Yesterday was my birthday, so I went today and got some stuff for myself for my birthday. So
Belated birthday.
thank you, bud. Thank you.
William Byron in the lead.
Yeah,
and
but
will he get a championship?
No, they're gonna give it to Mickey. I mean, they're gonna give it to Joey.
I think with Kyle Larson there in second, we're gonna have some blocking. Oh! Who was that? Who was that? Somebody just lost it out of 4. I think it was Joe Stipe. Yeah.
Oh man, he was way up there in the marbles, and luckily though, I think he was able to get it back, not get penalized. And whenever you clip the commitment line there, you could come across getting a penalty.
Yeah, it did. The Power did say that he was entering pit road. So the game iRacing did label him as entering pit road, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a sim, Chris.
Right.
It's a sim, it's not a game. I'm just kidding. I'm not one of those people.
Ooh, the 14 a little loose there.
Yeah, he coming out of turn number 3, going through the short chute of 3 and 4, about crossed up, almost like he was on ice there for just a second.
Mike Slaughter on pit road. I believe we will see Jesse Gordon probably hit pit road this time. Unless Mike was, yep, Jesse on the radio. Now, what was he saying though? Thank you for the pass? Or I'm hitting this time? And he does not.
You know, with the racing, having the fan hat on for perspective for the actual championship for Phoenix, having that fan hat on. Anybody but Joey, please, anyone but Joey. I don't mind him racing for Roger Penske. I would even like Roger to win another championship, but that's why we have Ryan Blaney, right? Anyway, it's just having the fan hat on. But this is also coming from a person that hates the playoff format entirely, so I think the regular season champion is the true champion. So Tyler Reddick, go get him, bud. You know, I don't know what to say anymore. It's like the year Kyle Larson won his championship. Didn't he win the actual regular season championship and the playoff championship too?
Yeah, I believe so, because he had, what, like, I think 5 wins
He
that
in
season.
total, in total, it was a 10-win season. He won 9 regular season, nine points paying races, and he won the All-Star race. Or was it 11? It was 10. I'm pretty sure. But yes, I would have liked to have seen NASCAR penalized the 24, but at the same token, like, they penalized the 48 for not having the weight requirement after the race at the Roval, put Joey in. So it's like, man, after, in my opinion, once somebody has been eliminated, I feel like they're eliminated. Like,
Right.
I like that meme. Have you ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? Well, it's like Drew Carey, like, welcome to NASCAR, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Yeah, 17 laps to go, though, here at the Brickyard. What's going to transpire with the strategy and going to take place in the closing lap? 16 to go. And the closing lap, so I believe it's still wide open. One caution tonight. Even whenever I did get back, bad luck did not ensue. Who would have thought? Looks like Pete Woodrum, first car in the danger zone, are going a lap down with Mike Slaughter. Philip Bridgman, Matt Bryant, Paul Lawson, Christopher Campbell, Joe Stipe, and Anthony Lane are the drivers one lap down at the moment. As we have
Matthew on pit road.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. I was trying to scroll to see who just pitted. I gotta scroll
So
over, scroll up, scroll left, right, side to side.
now, if you're Jesse Gordon, you've got to think about coming. You've got to come down pit road.
Thank you for adding on to that sentence. That at first it sounded very out there. Then you reeled it back into left field. So goodness gracious.
It reminds me. Oh, this video that my buddy sent me of women watching football.
Oh yeah.
Here he comes. There he is. Jesse Gordon on pit road.
He's got a big package and he's set to deliver.
Oh. And who's that following him? Zach. Zach really kind of gained some ground on him. I mean, he's still probably about 5 seconds behind him, though. You gotta think about pit road speed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds behind him. Here we go. Tires on the number 10. This would be a time. Does Zach not take tires? He does not take tires. Ooh, boy, that's a big, big call. Jesse with fresh tires right on Zach's bumper coming off of pit road. This might be the dagger in Zach's race. But that was the only way that he was going to catch up to the 10 was just to gamble here and not take tires. Oh,
That's a
Zach.
bold strategy caught in here as they're coming out of pit road, getting up to speed, fresh tires all over the back of Deutscher. Deutscher, like you said, no,
Oh, it's gonna squeeze him.
trying to use Troy Daggett as a pick going into turn 3 on the warm-up lap out of pit road, the out lap.
Oh, this is butt quenching.
Yes, great stuff all around. We have another person, Tyler Myers, peeling off to pit there. I believe that was Tyler. Now that Bobby Allison is gone, I wonder how many throwback paint schemes are going to be in honor of Bobby next year at the Southern well, they don't do it at the Southern at the Goodyear 400, the first Darlington race next season. Even though, I mean, the past couple of years they have had a lot of Bobby tributes, so I mean, why not? Let's just keep it going.
All right, Robbie Bice sitting in that first place position, but pitted on lap 26, so definitely not going to be able to make it. But Bill Hales pitted on lap 31. Sits in that second position. Can he go 30 laps? I mean, he went 31, but I believe he was one of those guys that pitted on lap 3. Gonna be very interesting to see, can Bill Hales throw a pin in all those other guys' balloons here?
Yes, can he be the one to burst some bubbles?
Gonna be interesting. Can he go 30 laps, technically? Because we all know, I mean, it's 29 to go, but you gotta make that big, long lap around the track.
Yeah, you would hate to run out of fuel coming to get the white flag, because then doesn't matter how much gap you have to the nearest competitor. You're going to run out of fuel and you're going to coast, and you won't get back there in time to capture the position of what you were trying to hold. Doesn't matter if it's first or even next to last in the running order. You will get past because of how long it takes. 52 plus seconds on a given good day, sometimes 54 seconds, depending on how fast you can go and speed and quick tires and everything, fresh tires. So it takes a good minute to get around here. So just think, whenever you run out of fuel, how grueling and how long, depending on where you run out of fuel at, Chris, where you start to sputter, it's going to be even longer getting back around. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes the car halts momentum. You lose all that speed you were coasting, and you just become part of the grassy knoll at that point. Hopefully no back and to the left happens.
All right, Robbie Bice out. Oh,
Yes, he tags the wall in turn 3. That's going to hurt him severely. SpongeBob creeping in. Don't know who is the SpongeBob car today, but
and on pit road. But the good thing is Bobby is 30 seconds ahead of Jesse Gordon. And that time it's slowly creeping, now 28 seconds ahead of Jesse. And it's going to deplete really fast. There it goes. Jesse Gordon back to the lead. But he's only a little under 4 seconds ahead of Zach.
Like we already documented, though, Zach doesn't have fresh tires. He thought, maybe some type of wild strategy. He was 7.5 seconds back when he pitted with Jesse. So trying to come in, gain some ground, capitalize on something, maybe take no tires. That's what he did, and came out right in front of him, but still wasn't enough to hold him off, unfortunately. But nevertheless, just trying to get a podium finish here tonight is Deutscher.
Jesse gonna get around to 42.
It's Paul Lawson in the 42. Then he's going to set his sights on Tyler Myers in the 24. So Uno reverse card with the numbers here between Jesse Gordon, or around Jesse, I should say. Ooh, Tyler, a little bit wobbly, just loosey-goosey, so to speak, going through turn 3. I always felt like turn 3 here, either turn 3 or turn 4, was probably the most trickiest corner for me, even though turn 1 always gave me fits at times, but those two, for me, either 3 or 4, just always gave me problems, it felt like. I could get through 1 and 2, it always seemed like just about no problem, but 3 and 4, I almost couldn't nail it every time. Every lap's going to be different around here, just because of how you think you can attack these corners the same every lap. You know, each lap you're going to have different tire aging and tire retardation with the car and everything. So six laps to go at the start finish line here, Chris, and these laps, I know it may take a good minute to get around here, but they have just been flying by.
Very, very clean race here today, besides that lap 2 incident, which, you know, that's Indianapolis for you. Something's bound to happen no matter how great of racing your league produces. And Indianapolis is just one of those tricky tracks where you don't want to follow the draft into turns 1 and 3, but you want to have a great entrance and exit on 2 and 4, which can cause pretty great runs on the backstretch and the front stretch, and these guys just having to figure that out on lap 2 of the limits on those straightaways. Jesse Gordon still out in front. He does get around Tyler Myers there. Now Tyler going to be between him and Matthew Hunsaker. Matthew gaining a lot here. He's got around Zach. So Zach now almost 6 seconds behind our leader, as those old tires are starting to really kind of show their bad side.
Yeah, Zach could actually lose out on a podium here to Mike Slaughter.
There you see Mike about a little over half a second behind Zach. Mike gonna have to deal with the 0 in between him and Matthew of Joe Stipe. Let's see, where did Bill Hales come out at? He is in the 8th position here, up 13 spots. And look at this. Bill Hales in 8th, up 13. 7th place, Brian Huntley, up 15. And 6th place, Troy Daggett, up 17. So all three guys, 6th, 7th, and 8th, are biggest movers of tonight. But Jesse continuing to keep that distance. About 2.5 seconds behind him is the number 3 of Matthew. There we go. Mike Slaughter gets around the 0. Now it's just Oh. Looks like the 00 is trying to get a run.
Now it's just a matter of time. Does Slaughter have enough time? 2.5 laps remaining to do anything with Deutscher. He's all over that back bumper now, going through the short chute to get 2 laps to go this time back at the stripe. Unsacred, under 2.5 seconds is the gap.
Ooh.
To Jesse Gordon here.
Ooh, Mike got a little loose out of turn 4. Almost hit that pit entrance wall.
Penultimate time down the back straightaway here. BNR Cup Series at the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's been a good strategy call race, I'd have to say, down to its tee. Coming to get the white flag, Chris. It'll be waving this time for Jesse Gordon.
And Jesse now with the fastest lap. A 53.42. Final lap for him. Out of 1 into 2. Matthew falling back even further now, almost 4 seconds behind him. This is Jesse's race to lose. As Matthew, oh, that was Tyler that off the wall there. Here we go into turn 3, out of turn 3, down the short chute into 4. A little wobbly there. Jesse Gordon started on the pole, fell back, was fighting around the 3rd and 4th position, made an early pit stop that put him on a different strategy, and he's going to come across the checkered flag as the winner here tonight.
Matthew Hunsaker having a dominant piece himself, but gets second on the podium, and Deutscher holds off Slaughter to finish on the final step of this podium. So what a heck of a race here at the end of it. Bill Hell's besting Troy Daggett.
Yeah, and Troy Daggett was up 16 positions. It looks like he's out of gas. He's going to lose that extra spot, making Brian Huntley the biggest winner, or the biggest mover here. Troy Daggett, yeah, definitely out of fuel here. He pitted on lap 31. So it just goes to show that Bill Hales could have made it. Jesse Gordon back around. Plenty of field to do a burnout here.
Well, as I say all the time, Chris, thank you for all the drivers coming out, being a part. If it wasn't for the drivers, wouldn't have a show to put on for the fans. And thanks for the fans as well, coming out, being a part, tuning in, and cheering on your favorite BNR Cup Series driver. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. And thank you for being a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good race. I love Indianapolis. It's my all-time favorite track. Grew up going here almost every year of my childhood.
Do you have a favorite Brickyard race that you attended?
Pretty much everyone that Jeff Gordon won.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it was my favorite one was probably 2012, where I got to sit on the pit road stands right behind the pit boxes. Unfortunately, the pit box that we sat behind was a guy that was a local Indianapolis native who was there for one set of tires, pretty much. So after his first initial pit stop and first set of tires, he parked it left. At that time, I got to walk around pit road on the infield, so that 2012. Last time I ever went. But we will sit around here and wait and see if we get our podium finishers: Jesse Gordon, Matthew Hunsaker, and Zach Neuscher in the booth. Indy. All right, well, I think that wraps it up here for race number 8 at the Indianapolis Oval. A very great race. Only one caution on lap 2, and then we were in about 26, 25 laps. Flag racing, and saw an awesome strategy by Jesse Gordon to snag that win. Unfortunately, Matthew Hunsaker and Zach Deutscher, who dominated the first, quarter to about 1/3 of this race before that pit stop, are going to fall to second and third, but still a podium finish. Looking ahead, lost my train of thought. Looking ahead to next week, we're going to go to Las Vegas. Should be an awesome race, as that's one of my favorite tracks to drive on. So, 2 weeks in a row, my favorite tracks. One of my favorite tracks to go to, one of my favorite tracks to race on in iRacing. So, should be a great one next week. After that, we head to Bristol, some short track racing, and then Charlotte Roval for race number 11. So the next 3 weeks going to be some awesome tracks. Technically, all of them are awesome tracks, because following that, Auto Club, Atlanta, Dover, the Glen, Michigan, Kentucky, then Chicago Street Course, Homestead, and Charlotte to finish off the season. Don't forget to subscribe to BMRL Network. Hit that thumbs up, as we are live here for BNR Cup Series every Sunday evening at 4:20 p.m. Central, 5:20 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Will, for joining me here tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here next Sunday, and everyone back here as well.